What is up, everybody? It's your girl Jazz, and we are back for Zatima season 3, and we are discussing episodes 7 and 8. So let's go ahead and get into it. So it picks up where it left off, and Zack is in the projects, and he is looking for Jeremiah. He finds out that Jeremiah hurt Fatima. Nate told him, look, man, Jeremiah did something to Fatima. I don't know if he pushed her or if he hit her, but he did something to her. And I just want to let you know, I want to let you know that. Nate wanted to be the one to tell him. And so that's where it left off. And so that's where it picked up at, right? And so Tony and Nate are running behind Zack, trying to stop him from doing something crazy, right? Connie and Belinda are sitting down. I think it's hilarious that Connie literally cannot stand Belinda. And Belinda is just this messy, and I just want to say that how messy Belinda is astounding. Like how the way that she's messy, it's not even funny. Like you have people who are, you have people around who are messy, and you got people who lie a little bit. You got people who are messy, and you just know, look, okay, she messy a little bit. I can't tell her. I just can't tell her nothing. And you know that that's just how they are, and you just know that you just can't tell people certain things about yourself, and you just know that. But the way that Belinda is, and I say this all the time, like, it's a monitoring spirit. It is horrible. Like that girl is evil, and it really is horrible. You know what I'm saying? And the way that Connie can't stand this girl, you really can tell that Connie really do want to round with Belinda, and she really is trying to stay off her behind out of respect. I really don't know who out of respect for who, because Fatima done already told her, hey, if you come around me one more time, it's on sight. It's on sight. And I really don't care who you are. Like the only reason why Fatima really just gave her a warning shot the last time they was at her house. So I really don't know who Connie is trying to be respectful of, but you can really tell that Connie's like, hey, I really don't like you, and I'm really trying to stay off of you out of respect. I guess it's safe to say that she's trying to stay off of her out of respect because Belinda and Nate are talking. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. I don't know, but you can tell that Connie can't stand this girl. But anyway, so they're sitting down talking, okay? And they see Fatima talking to somebody on the phone. I'm going to assume that she was talking to Angela on the phone. She was talking to somebody. So Connie was like, so Belinda was like, she on the phone with somebody. And Connie was like, why do you even care? What are you even doing? Connie was like, what you even doing here? Why are you even here? Like, what is your purpose? Connie, your guess is good as mine, because like at this point, Belinda, what are you doing? What are you here for? And at first I was saying it's not even about Zack. At first I was saying it's not about Zack. She don't want Zack, and she don't want Nate. It's about Fatima. She hates Fatima, and she want to see Fatima suffer. But Belinda is just an evil person, and she just like drama and mess, and she don't like nobody being happy, and she just like to bring, and she just likes to be just to bring. She's just a Debbie Downer. Like Jezebel spirits are just like that. Monetary spirits are just like that. Like, for real. Like, ugh. Just, oh my God. Ugh. Anyway. Yuck. Like, ugh. Oh my gosh. Anyway. So Belinda sees Zack. She sees Zack and she go, oh, here comes Zack. Like, girl. He is in. And here's the thing. Then she also says, me and Fatima going through something, but that's my friend. If that's your friend, and this man is in a whole relationship with your quote unquote friend, why is it that when you see this man, oh, here comes Zack, you fix yourself up? Hey, Zack. See, I told y'all. That is a spirit of evil one at that. It is, and the thing is, she can't even hide it. Oh, here comes Zack. Hey, Zack. And then when he don't pay no attention to her, he always mad. See? Can't shit. See? And so Tony and Nate tells Connie that he knows, right? And so Zack goes over to Fatima and she's like, hey, babe. And he's like, I'm gonna ask you this one time. Did Jeremiah do something to you? Did Jeremiah hit you? And so Fatima, being a person of semantics, a person who listens to words and answers exactly what you ask her. She like, nah, he didn't hit me. Did he push you? She ain't answer the question. And he was like, Fatima, don't make me ask you this question again. And she was like, babe, can we please talk about this when we get home? And so he was like, no, I want to talk about this right now. And so Nate goes, Fatima, the jig is up. I already told him everything. You might as well go ahead and tell him. And so Fatima is like, Nate, you need to shut up. You need to shut the F up now. You need to shut up. If you're gonna tell him, you need to get your facts. You need to get your facts right. And so Zack was like, hold on, what are the facts? What are the facts? Because I just asked you and you didn't say nothing. So what are the facts? And so Fatima's like, babe, let's just talk about this when we get home because I don't want them in our business. And so Zack goes, they always in our business. Now, Zack did have a point there. They are always in their business. The crew, all of them are literally always in their business. They are always trying to get in their business some kind of way. Every argument or fight that Zack and Fatima has had in the Zatima series has been because of their friends. It's rarely because of anything related to anything that they've done to each other. It's been because of their friends. So I agree with Zack when it comes to that. I do agree with that. So Tony was like, look, man, Tony was trying to calm him down. Fatima was trying to calm him down. Nate, on the other hand, was like, no, look, man, I wanted to tell you. But Tony, bald-headed self, was like, no, man. And see, this goes back to the point that me and my homegirls was talking about. Me and my friends was talking about it. Nate wanted to be Captain Save Zack. And he also wanted to be the quote-unquote friend in the end. And, you know, he wanted to be the one to... Huh?
Like, you know that pot with the plants?
Yeah.
The leaf plants?
Mm-hmm.
It broke a little bit.
It's okay.
Can I clean it up?
Yeah.
Hold up, let me get it.
You don't have to. It's okay. As long as there's no glass on the floor, you're good. Sorry about that, y'all. Nate wanted to back to what we was talking about. Nate wanted to be the one to tell Zack so he could prove, see, I'm the loyal one. I'm the one I'm the one that really got your back. Tony not the one that got your back. Fatima not the one that got your back. I'm the one that got your back. Connie not the one that got your back. Your people not loyal to you like you think they are. I'm the real one. I'm the one that's loyal to you. Like, I'm the one that's loyal to you. I'm the one that's really locked in with you for life. Nate wanted to be the one to prove himself to Zack, if you will, if that makes sense. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Nate wanted to be the one to tell Zack because he wanted to be the one to prove his loyalty to Zack, and he also wanted Zack to stop being mad at him. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason. Now, granted, so two things can be true at the same time. So there's that piece, and also Nate did have a point. Zack did need to know. Zack needed to know. And Zack's response was going to be the response no matter what. No matter how he found out, and no matter when he found out, Zack was going to react that way. Also, to Fatima's point, Fatima is the one who should have been the one to tell him. And Fatima needed the... Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
I'm sorry. I picked up the glass.
It's okay. It's not glass, though. It's okay. As long as there's nothing on the floor, you're good.
It was on the floor, but I picked it.
Okay, you good. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, babe. So, like I was saying, sorry, y'all had to get in mama mode right quick. But anyway, Fatima is the one who needed to tell him. Should have been the one to tell him because it happened to her. So it's her story to tell. She should have been the one to tell him. However, to Nate's point, and to Nate's point, Zack's reaction was going to be Zack's reaction, no matter if and when Zack found out, it was going to be Zack's reaction. We saw how Zack reacted when Jeremiah called Fatima out his name back in season 2. He flipped the whole lid, and he flipped the whole lid and punched Jeremiah clean. He punched Jeremiah clean off drugs. So for Jeremiah calling Fatima out her name. So my point is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He punched Jeremiah Indy style. Oh God. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. Back to okay. I'm sorry. Okay. My point is, to Nate's point, he was right that Zack did need to know. Everybody did have valid points. However, it was Fatima's story to tell. Now, Fatima did not need to keep on lying. And she didn't need to keep lying. Now, in the previous episode, when that funeral home dude said that Jeremiah came up in there trying to sell that watch, and Zack started asking, "Oh, I want to see the picture of the watch." At that point, look, sis, Fatima, baby, go ahead and tell Zack the truth and quit lying. Go ahead. You tried, okay? You tried. It didn't work. It didn't work. Look, you tried, baby. you do. Hey, it's all right. It had, hey, you tried. It just didn't work. You know, Fatima can't control everything, and this is just one of those things that you just can't control, and it's okay. It happens. You know. So anyway, so Nate ended up telling Zack that the incident with Jeremiah and Fatima happened a few days ago. Zack drove off pissed off at everybody. Right? And so he was like, a few days ago? Wow. All right, bet. So he drives off pissed off at everybody. And so Fatima was like, dang, thank you, Nate. Right? Thanks a lot, Nate. And Nate was like, look, now, this is something that Nate said that I do agree with, but at the same time, Nate was impulsive, and he did not think everything through. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. So Nate was like, I did for him what I'd want him or anybody else to do for me. Fair point. Very fair point. Which Nate was saying, Nate was saying, I'd want somebody to tell me if somebody hurt my woman. Cool. Understandable. Fatima fires back and was like, do you have a record? Nate goes, yeah, I do. Fatima goes, and that's your best friend? So Nate took a pause and thought about it. And so Fatima was like, are you gonna visit him in jail? And so Connie goes, do you have a brother that's on drugs? And so Nate goes, I don't. Fatima was like, are you gonna visit him if he goes to jail? Are you gonna visit him in jail? Which this is Fatima's thing. None of y'all are gonna visit him in jail. None of y'all gonna put money on his books. None of y'all. If Zack goes to jail for life, which Zack has 2 strikes already. She knows that Zack is on a rampage and literally would have killed his brother. They all know it too. Literally, they know it. So if Zack would have killed him, he goes to jail for life. Or even if he didn't kill his brother. Or even if he would have, beat his brother up real bad, or, did something real bad to him. He's on his 3rd strike. Whatever he does next, he gonna get some football numbers. And none of those people that were standing outside with Fatima got money to put on his books. Nor do they have the means or the resources, lawyers, none of that, to help Zack in this situation. And they talking about we need to tell him, knowing what Zack is going to do, knowing what Zack is capable of, all of that. So that's what Fatima was saying. And Fatima was just like, you shouldn't have done that. But then they be looking to Fatima. Man, Fatima, we need to help him. Which I didn't see the episode, but I didn't see the leaked episode 11, but I did see clips, and it looks like that's what's gonna end up happening. Fatima, you're not gonna help him. This is what she was trying to avoid, So yeah, so Fatima was like, I'm finna go find Zack, and so Tony was like, Tony was like, I'm gonna go ride around, and I'm gonna go try to find Zack. And so that's what he went to go do. Zack was Fatima was like, I'm about to go find Zack. Connie was like, I'm gonna come with you. You can tell that Fatima was a little hesitant about it. And this is something that I want to point out too. On both episodes, actually. You can tell that Fatima is not used to having people help her. She's used to doing everything on her own. But one thing and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, but one thing that I loved about both episodes is I saw a village that Fatima actually had, because you had Tony helping her and you had Connie helping her, and in his own way, so did Nate. And that's what I actually love to see. I love seeing Tony, Connie, and Nate helping Fatima. I love that. I loved it. And Fatima, Fatima was a bit Fatima in her frustration and stuff like that. You could tell she was used to doing things. She was used to doing things on her own and her way when it came to Zack. But his three friends, that's been his friends since they were kids, was like, "Now, Fatima, we got you. We got you. We gonna help you. We got you. We love Zack and we love you too. We got your back. We got his back. What do we gonna help you. This is what we gonna do. You also tell us what you need us to do." And you can definitely see that throughout both episodes. Y'all, and that's what I saw. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. So Connie was like, "I'm coming with you." And Fatima was like, at first Fatima was like, "Nah." Connie was like, "Nah, I'm coming with you." Fatima, Connie didn't ask. Connie told her, "No, I'm coming with you. I'm coming to help." And it wasn't on no shady type stuff. It wasn't on no being messy type stuff. It wasn't on none of that. Connie was like, "No, that's my boy. I want to calm him down. I want you to find him. I'm coming with you." And so they weren't just looking for Zack. They were also looking for Jeremiah. So Connie and Fatima rode around looking for I think they were looking for Jeremiah too. Y'all remind me in the comments. I think they were looking for they were looking for Zack. Yep, they were looking for Zack. And so because Fatima was tracking his phone. Fatima was tracking his phone. And so and she was like, I hope we find Jeremiah too. I hope we find Jeremiah too. So they were riding in the car, and honestly, that's actually one of my favorite scenes in episode 7, because Connie talked about how she knew him as a young, as when they were young, and how he is with Fatima versus how they were when they were younger. Two different things. And you can tell, Fatima was a little hesitant about having that conversation because she didn't know where it was gonna go. She didn't know where Connie was going. She was a little apprehensive about having it because she didn't know where Connie was gonna go with it, right? And so because Connie and Zack messed around a few times. And so Connie was like, "Girl, we grown women. We can have," she was like, "Girl, we grown women. We can talk. We can have this conversation." And Fatima was like, "Yeah, you're right, we can." And she was like, "I knew Zack when he was young, young and thugging it." She was like, "But you calm him down." She was like, "And he needs that." And Fatima was like, "Yeah, but Zack still got to do the work. He still got a lot to undo." And Connie was like, "Yeah, you're right, but he's settled with you, and I like to see that. You're good for him, And Fatima was like, "You seem cool." She was like, "You know what, Connie, you seem cool. But I ain't gonna lie, I got my eye on you." And which was real, And so Connie was like, "You can keep watching me. I am what I say I am." Which was real too. I ain't gonna lie. I like Connie. I really do. I like Connie. Connie all right with me. And so Fatima was like, "Don't try me. I got a family full of killers." I was like, "That's right, Fatima. You better let her know." And so, they laughed about it or whatever. Tony called Connie and was like, "Hey, I forgot what he said. Oh, he said, he was like, "Hey, have you heard anything?" And so Fatima was like, "I'm tracking his phone and he's on, this street." He was like, and so Tony was like, "Hey, I'm about a block away, so I'll be there shortly." And so so they was like, "All right, cool." So they got off the phone or whatever. And so Connie was like, "Dang, man, that's love." And so Fatima was like, "Yeah, he tracked my phone too." So they get off the phone or whatever. Tony Tony gets there before Fatima does. And so Tony was talking to Zack or whatever. And he was like, where's Jeremiah? And he was like, I don't know. He's not over here though. And so he was like, all right, so where he at? And so he was like, I don't know. He was like, see, man, that's that BS. Because I asked you and you didn't tell me. You wouldn't tell me. And he was like, look, man, I'm sorry. So Fatima pulls up. And he was like, Fatima was like, look, man, I promise I'm going to tell you everything. And so Zack was like, all right, right here? He was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I promise I'm going to tell you. I'm finna tell you now. And so she was like, he thought I had some money. We was wrestling and I hit my head. And he was like, where did you hit your head, Fatima? I was like, oh man. And here's the thing. DeVal and Crystal are some amazing actors because you could literally see the hurt and the venom in DeVal's eyes when he was talking to, when he was talking to Crystal. Like you can see Zack's eyes like literally go red when he was talking. And I was like, oh man. He said, I was wondering why you had, he said, your forehead where you got all that makeup on. I was wondering why you had so much makeup on. I said, oh dang. And the thing is, women be thinking men don't pay attention just because they don't be saying nothing. But men really do pay attention. He said, I was wondering why you had so much makeup on. Take the makeup off, Fatima. I said, Fatima, you better take that makeup off. I said, Fatima, you better take that makeup off. He said, take the makeup off. Fatima said, babe, it's nothing. I said, Fatima, Fatima, you better take that. I said, Fatima, take the makeup off, Fatima. She said, babe, let's just go home. He said, you think you gonna tell me? He said, you think you gonna tell me my brother did this to you and I'm going home? I said, oh God. I said, oh good Lord. But see, here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I wish I would tell my husband, my husband that I've been with. I'm 37 years old. I've been with my husband since I was 19. I wish I would tell him that his brother or anybody, man, boy, girl, anybody, I wish I would cover up a bruise on my forehead and not tell him. And then he see it. Like, I can only imagine how, I can only imagine how Zack felt. So Fatima was like, all right, well, let's go. Because wherever you go, I'm going to follow you. So Zack stopped sharing his location, got in the car, and left again. So that was the end of the episode. It picks up. Let's see what else happened. It picks up. They were still looking for Zack. Belinda and Nate. Belinda and Nate found Jeremiah. They was like, "Come on, we need you lucky it was us that found you and not Zack because he looking for you. He mad at you." And Jeremiah was like, "He always mad." And they was like, "Yeah, well he mad." And Nate was like, "Well, you know what you did to Fatima." And Jeremiah was like, "Yeah, well whatever. That's my brother." As in if to say, it doesn't matter what I did to her. He's my brother, and that's my brother, and he's just gonna have to get over it, right? Which, not excusing what he said at all by any means. He was high. He was high, like super high at the time when he said it. He was like, "Come on, you gonna hide out. You gonna hide out at Belinda's house." Belinda's like, "Oh no, you're not." Right? So they took him to Belinda's house, and they called Nate. Not Nate. Yeah, I think Tony called Nate and was like, "Hey, we found Jeremiah. We about to take him to Belinda's house." And so they was like, "Yeah, hey, y'all need to come up. Hey, y'all need to come up with a plan. Y'all need to come up y'all need to come up with a plan or whatever. And Nate was like, yeah, this is the plan, and you should have thought about that, because this was your idea for me to even tell Zack. You should have thought about this before you was being nosy and being messy. Shut her right on up. I said, hey, I don't always agree with everything you do, Nate, but hey, you right. I'm with you when you're right. And this here, hey, yeah, because sometimes you just need to mind your business. So, said that, and let's see what else happened. Angela and Bryce, not really much there. They decided they was gonna be friends, but it was a little too soon as far as the friend zone goes with Angela, because the dude that she's kicking it with now was getting ready to come over, and Bryce said that he was fine, and Angela's like, too soon. I mean, we can be friends, as in if to say, hey, we could be friends, but you saying that my dude is fine, that's a little too soon, right? So he leaves. And another thing I want to say about that is they're still trying to her trying to get Bryce to still talk to Zack. Just give it a rest. Like, stop pushing that. I don't like that. Let Zack talk to you when he's ready to talk. Stop trying to push that, because it's giving. I don't like that. It's pushy. Like, quit that. Let Zack talk to you when he's ready to talk to you. Quit that. Stop that. Anyway, so that happened. Preston had been hanging out and hanging out at Zack's house, waiting on him to come over so that all three of them could sign the contracts. He had called Zack a few times. He was like, hey, I'm been hanging over here about an hour waiting on you. I'm gonna hang a few more minutes and then I'm gonna go. Deja comes out, tried to give him something to drink. He didn't really want that, and he was like, hey, you're a beautiful woman, you don't have to be so aggressive. And she was like, hey, this is me. He was like, yeah, I don't think so, right? Wasn't really much there. I will say I do like Preston and Deja. I don't really know what Tyler Perry gonna do there, but I do think it's cute. Bryce did come over because Angela did say he need to go over there and apologize, and I do think that they was supposed to all meet to sign the contracts anyway. I will say I do like Preston holding Bryce accountable. I do like that. Now, one thing I will say is this: Preston is a white man on the show. On the show, they have Preston portraying a white man. Bryce, you are not going to be able to do the stuff that you was trying to do to Zack. That's not going to fly with Preston, buddy. You ain't going to be able to do that with a white guy. Okay? You are not going to be able to do this with a white guy who has a racist background. You are not going to be able to do that at all. At all. You are not. You're not going to be able to do that, Bryce. Not even a little bit. So don't even try it. And Preston let him know, hey, all three of us gonna sign these contracts. I'm gonna see everything you doing. You gonna see everything I'm doing. We all gonna see everything each other doing. I'm not finna sign one day, then you sign the next day, and then Zack. No, we all gonna be on the same page, and I love that. I love that. I said, that's right, Preston. You better let him know. Nope. No. And see, the thing is, and I was talking to my friend, I was talking to my homegirl. Shout out to Giovanna. Shout out to my homegirl, KD. Shout out to my homegirl, Coy. I love y'all so much. We was all talking, and Bryce has very arrogant roots. Like, real arrogant roots. And it's like he's trying to overcompensate. Especially because of his lifestyle and stuff, and he tried to take shots and stuff at people. He couldn't do that with Preston. He couldn't do that at all, you know. And so, nope. Honestly, he can't do that with Zack either. He can't do that with Zack, and he's mad that he can't do that with Zack. But so that happened. See what else. What's the guy's name? Mr. Tyrone. I think that's his name. Yeah. So Tony calls Mr. Tyrone, tells him, look, if you see Zack, which Zack was outside, was outside the shop. He was like, hey, if you see Zack, keep him there for me. And so Mr. Tyrone was like, okay, I got you. So Zack comes in and he was like, look, have you seen Jeremiah? He said, yeah, I saw him. And he was like, do you know where he went? He was like, no. He was like, okay, so I take it you know what's going on. He was like, yeah, I heard some things. I heard what happened. He was like, are you and Colin tell me? He said, no, I ain't calling tell you because it wasn't my business. And so you can tell that Zack wanted to flex on Mr. Tyrone, but he had respect enough not to. Which tells me, which says to me that the manic episode and the beatdown that he's probably gonna give his brother was definitely more about ego. Now I understand being mad, and mad at stuff that your friends and your wife to be betrayed you and stuff like that. However, Zack rode around all day. He rode around Atlanta. He rode around the shop. He talked to Mr. Tyrone. He had time to calm down. And me and my friends was talking about this. We talked about this. I'm going to get there. But anyway, Mr. Tyrone, he was like, look, I know a little bit about what you're going through. And I know a little bit about decision making. And I'm telling, he was like, you may not want to hear this, but that's your brother. And your brother got a drug problem. He was like, man, I'm getting sick and tired of hearing that. That's not an excuse. He said it may not be an excuse, but it's the truth. That's your brother, and he has a problem. He was like, yeah, man, but Fatima gonna be my wife. I gotta stand up for her. I gotta take care of her. He was like, yeah, I agree with that. He said, but you can't take care of her. You can't take care of your wife in jail. Probably the best wisdom I've heard. He said, what if your brother don't let you do that? What if your brother, he said, oh, you gonna beat him up? Yeah, man, he gonna have to see me, man. He gonna have to, which, and shout out to DeVal and shout out to the guy, the OG who plays Mr. Tyrone, which the last time I know Mr. Tyrone as Mr. LB. He played Mr. LB in Meet the Browns. That's who I remember him as. And shout out to him. Shout out to OG and shout out to DeVal, because this scene here is, and of course DeVal's response is a lot of typical young dudes who feel like they gotta prove something to somebody, and whoever the somebody is, right? And the OG is trying to give you wisdom and stuff, and the young ones don't want to listen, and I've been there before. Mad, impulsive, upset, impulsive, and angry, and and the only thing you see, and you can't see past what you want to do. in the current state of mind that you're in, right? And so Mr. Tyrone told, he was like, what if Jeremiah don't let you do that? What if he beat your tail? I hope he do. I hope he do. I wish he would. And he was like, look, if he full of that stuff, when you beat him up and he die, you're going to jail for life. And then you won't be able to see Fatima no more. So you talking about you doing this for Fatima. If you and here's the thing. This is how if you go back and watch that scene, you ain't got to be there when you ain't got to, I won't be there when you do. If you go back and watch that scene, as soon as Mr. Tyrone said that, Zack had a split second where he looked and thought about what he said. And then said, man, I just got to do what I got to do. I can't be out here looking weak. I got to do what I got to do. That tells me, and then Mr. Tyrone said, I ought to hit you. I ought to hit you upside your head. This is you telling me this is about ego? This is about you looking weak? This is about ego? You doing all this for ego? If you go to jail, you ain't gonna be able to see Fatima. You doing all this for Fatima? Fatima ain't gonna be in jail with you. You ain't nothing in there but dudes. That tells me that Zack did this because he wanted to. So, I could be wrong. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. But I think that he really seriously, truthfully thought about it. He thought about it, and he probably wasn't gonna do nothing. He probably wasn't gonna do nothing because, and here's the thing. Tony offered to whoop Jeremiah for him after that conversation he had with Tyrone. Tony said, "Hey, I was wrong. I should have said something to you. I hold my L. We locked in for life. You my brother. I love you. I should have said something to you. As soon as I knew, I should have said something to you. That's my fault. I take accountability on my end." That's when you grown. When you did something wrong, you take your account for it, and you tell your friend, "Look, I was wrong." And here's the thing. When you're wrong, there's no buts after it. There's no justification after it. You say you were wrong and that's it. There's no pause. There's no buts. There's no gaslighting. There's no, well, I was wrong, but you did this. No. I was wrong and that's it. That's when you grown, right? So Tony even offered to whoop Jeremiah for him and with him. Right? So Tony did that. Okay? And here's my thing. I really think that, now y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I think that Zack took a moment when he was by himself. I think that Zack took his moment by himself, reflected on what Mr. Tony said, and probably was not going to do anything until Belinda called him. Because we see that Belinda called him, told him that Jeremiah was at her house. And the fact that none of his friends called him and told him where Jeremiah was at, and he had to find out from a woman that he can't stand. Because now it looks like to him, oh, y'all really keeping secrets from me. Y'all really keeping secrets. Y'all keeping secrets. Y'all not telling me everything. And my own woman don't want me to know stuff. So what's the tea? What's up? What else y'all hiding? Is your name really Fatima? Do I really got 10 toes, 10 fingers? I'm just kidding. But for real, for real. So to him, it looks like betrayal. Now, I'm not saying that that's what it is. I'm just saying to him, you have Angela who knows. You got Connie who knows. Now, she wasn't there at the house, but I'm just saying. And then, not only that, he gets to the house. He gets to the house and he sees everybody's cars there. He see everybody's cars there, right? He see everybody's cars. So everybody there. That's why he spazzed. Because he get there and everybody over there. And then his wife to be, I'm not letting you go up there. Why not? For what? Why not? If my brother, first of all, what money? You said money, an insurance policy, okay? And I'm telling y'all this. I'm telling y'all this. You know how he. I'm just giving y'all a way that he probably processed it. Okay. You told me y'all talked. Connie told you about an insurance policy that Gladys left, that she made her the executor over, that she now wants to make you the executor over. Okay. Cause she don't want no parts of it. I bet. Now how did he find out about it? Who told him? Who told him that you're now going to be the executor of it? Okay. Why is he so mad that y'all are now wrestling to the point that Why is he so mad that y'all are now wrestling to the point that you done hit your head? And why are you keeping that from me? Now, if you done hit your head and now you're keeping it from me, why are you now covering for him? Why are you now covering for him and hiding it from me? And now why are you now keeping me up off of him if he done put his hands on you? And why I can't go talk to my brother? Fatima, move. This is just, I'm just giving y'all a scenario on how he's probably thinking. And Nate, Tony, Connie, if y'all knew all of this, why y'all not telling me? Nate, you're married. If I put my hands on Lori and you knew about it, I'm pretty sure I'd have to see you, wouldn't I? So why are you keeping me off my brother? Tony, if you had an old lady and I put my hands on your woman, I'm pretty sure I have to see you too, wouldn't I? So why you keeping me off my brother? Why you keeping me away from my brother? Move, Tony. Angela, why are you even here? And of all people, what did Belinda call me? Why is Belinda the one that called me? How did Belinda even get my number when I don't even talk to her? I had her blocked. I'm just giving y'all an example of some things that are probably going through Zack's mind. That is more than likely why he spazzed. So yeah, he broke stuff. So yeah. No, I don't need nobody talking to me right now. Because when I was asking y'all questions, when I was asking y'all what was going on, y'all don't have nothing to say. Everybody lying. Everybody lying. So I don't have nothing to say to nobody. Don't talk to me right now. Don't touch me. I don't want to hear it. I'm such a bad guy. If I'm so horrible, what you want to marry me for, Fatima? If I'm so horrible, why y'all so locked in for life with me? This when a person is mad like that, these are all the things that go through their head. Yep. I'm not saying it's right. But when a person is mad, they only have a one-track mind when they mad. To get to the person yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, Zack was mad at everybody that day. Everybody. Literally anybody could get it. Which is why Fatima said let her handle it her way. Now, again, I don't agree with Fatima lying to him. And I always maintain that she should have called him and told him as soon as it happened. When she was on that ambulance truck, her first call should have been to Zachary. Zack, Jeremiah came to my job. This is what happened. I don't want you to do nothing. And I need you to calm down. Babe, I need you to calm down now. Please. Think about FJ. Think about FJ. Think about the baby. Think about FJ. Think about Fatima. Think about FJ. Think about little FJ. No, but for real. For real. So the episode ended with he finally get upstairs and then flew back down. He flew back down, like y'all remember on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he flew downstairs when Jazz used to get thrown out of the house. That's how Zack flew down. That's exactly how he flew down. But child, that's how he flew down, and he ended up on top of Fatima. He ended up on top of Fatima because child, somebody at the house ended up shooting. But child, the way he trashed Belinda's house, I ain't too mad at him for that, because child, Belinda, you shouldn't have called him over there. You want to be messy. And see how he was gonna react. Well, by golly, that's how you found out. That's how the episode ended, and we will be back next week for episodes 9 and 10. What y'all think gonna happen? Put in the comments what y'all think gonna happen on 9 and 10. I love y'all in real life, and I will see y'all next week. Sisters is coming. I still need to watch this week's episode. I still need to watch this week's episode before I review it. I'm gonna do the first 2 episodes like I did Zatima. And that's how we'll do that. But I love y'all. Being a basketball mom just has your girl busy. But I love y'all so much, and thank y'all so much for being patient with me. Do y'all like me doing my reviews like this? Reviewing 2 episodes at a time? Let me know. Love y'all. Bye.